Hey guys, I just finished a game and I thought I'd do a review discussion on it like I usually do when I finish a game. That's a PS1 game. With the PS1 I've been basically trying to collect a bunch of RPGs because I missed out on that entire library of classic JRPGs for that system. So I'm just going through them. I started Xenogears not too long ago and I just finished Suikoden, or Suikoden. I don't know how to pronounce this series. If someone can let me know exactly how you pronounce this. I think it's Suikoden, that's it, I'm pretty sure. But just finished this. It took me a little over 20 hours, so it's actually quite a short RPG. So if you're in the mood for a short RPG and you own this, or you don't, I'd actually highly recommend checking this out. You can get on the PSN network for pretty cheap. I think it's only like 10 bucks or something. The PS1 version's a bit more pricey. I got this copy, complete copy, for like, I think it was $25, so it's not too bad, but it can get up there. I've seen them go for like $40 and a little bit higher than that. But the game itself, it's a pretty traditional turn-based RPG, but it has some unique elements. And this Suikoden series, I've never gotten into it. I've always wanted to. So of course this is my entry into the series. I definitely wanted to start with the first one. That said, I do have some complaints with it. It certainly doesn't reach the heights Xenogears reached for me. I'll talk about the story first. The story is good. You're part of the Imperial Army in the beginning. You're this general's son, and I don't want to spoil too much, but basically you kind of join this liberation army. You're actually the commander of it, and you're basically going around recruiting soldiers for your army and trying to overthrow the Imperial Army. And there's some twists here and there. The character development's good. There's a lot of emotional moments that work quite well. That said, the storyline is pretty basic. But how it connects with the gameplay is what's so great. When you're recruiting these soldiers, it's not just, this doesn't just happen in cutscenes. You're actively exploring the environments, searching for soldiers to recruit, and they're called like the 108 Stars of Destiny. And you don't actually have to get them all when you complete the game. I completed the game with only, I don't know how many I got. I didn't get all of them. I assume there's a different little bonus ending if you get them all. I didn't go for them all, and I'll tell you why in a second. But yeah, so the story, is good. It won't blow you away or anything, but it's certainly good, and I'm looking forward to other entries in the series. I know the second one apparently has an amazing storyline, so I can't wait to play that one. The visuals, I've put up some gameplay. They didn't quite rub me the right way. They're not bad. They're certainly not bad, and I think a lot of people will enjoy them. I don't know, the art style for this game I wasn't too big on. The character portraits especially, I think they're kind of ugly, to be honest. I don't think the character sprites are that great either. The environments are kind of, I don't know, something about the visuals in this game didn't really impress me that much. That said, of course, visuals, to me at least, are very unimportant with games, so it really didn't bother me that much, but I certainly wasn't impressed by them. The music in this game, on the other hand, is absolutely fantastic. Every song is great. There's some great arrangements here and some really unique use of different instruments. Like, basically, there's not a weak track in this game. There's some great, epic battle themes, some really slow-paced, sad kind of melodies. Really just a fantastic soundtrack all around. Now I'll talk about the gameplay, which is, of course, the important part, the big part of this game. It's a traditional RPG in the sense that, you'll be exploring dungeons, roaming the world map. But the main thing is recruiting these soldiers. Now, most of them are optional, I'd say, actually. And you basically go around in the environment and you can find them. For instance, in order to get, how it works is you actually own your own castle in this game, which I love. This is the part of the game I think is really cool. You own your own castle, and the soldiers you recruit, the people you can recruit, automatically will go to your castle, and some of them actually give you nice abilities. In the beginning of the game, you know, you start walking very slowly. You can only, you know, get armor, armor and upgrade weapons like that in the shops in towns. But later on, you can actually recruit blacksmiths and appraisers and things like that, and they'll join they'll join your castles. You don't have to go to shops anymore to do these things. I'll talk a bit about there's 3 different kind of battle systems in this game. The first is the main one, which you'll be participating in these kind of battles, I'd say pretty much 90% of the game, and that's the 6 party battles, where you basically have 6 characters, and it's basically your typical turn-based battle system, except you can actually make, your party is basically made up of the characters in your army, so you can choose any characters you want. You can equip them with all different sorts of armor. They each have their own items. So there's no actual master item list. Each character has their own items, whether they be potions or armor. Each character has their own weapon too, and you upgrade that weapon in a shop. So there's no actual buying weapons. There is buying armor, however. And it's basically turn-based, menu-driven combat, but with the added bonus of runes. Now each character can have their own rune equipped, and each rune can give different kind of abilities. For a good example is actually the dash rune, the holy rune. That basically makes, this actually doesn't take any effect in battle, but just to give you an idea of the variety of different runes there are in the game, the holy rune basically gives you the ability to run throughout the dungeons and stuff. And there's like a true holy rune that one particular character has that allows you to run fast in the world map. There's like thunder runes, which basically give added, these kind of magic thunder powers. There's fire runes. There's runes that give double experience and so forth. So I really like the rune system. There's a lot of experimentation there, so I absolutely love that. What else is there? Your basic defending and attacking, and the rune system is kind of your magic system. Some characters can have, the fire runes rather. Now with that, basically, if your character has these different attacks that they earn from their runes, each attack can have a different amount of uses, and there's no way to actually use items to recover those uses. The only way to do that is to go to an inn and rest. So you want to basically conserve your rune attacks. You don't want to get too crazy with those, or you'll find yourself running out of them. The animations in battle, in those 6 party battles, are fantastic. Basically, the battles are just really fun throughout. Other than that, you have your actual army battles. So it's the Liberation Army versus the Imperial battles, and these battles are very fun to watch. They're set up in kind of a rock paper scissors kind of way. Magic will beat like a charge attack. Bows will beat magic and stuff like that. And you can use different abilities. And basically each army can have over like 1,000 units. So there's kind of a bit of luck involved, at least from what I've found with those battles. But they're just so fun to watch, and they're generally easy enough for the most part that you shouldn't have too many problems with them. There's not too many of them in the game. You can actually lose party members that way if you're careless with those battles. So I suggest really, not being too careless with those battles, because you can actually lose party members that way, which I thought was interesting. It adds this aspect, like you're really feeling like you're growing this army. Your castle's improving. It's my favorite part of the game by far, is going around recruiting these members for your castle and your army and seeing your castle grow. I'll delve a bit into the actually, first off, the last battle kind of system is basically one-on-one duels. There's not too many in the game, and it's basically like attack, defending, and desperate attacking. You have like health meters, but you don't actually have any hit points. From what I found, I've won them all really easily. They're kind of basic, but they're neat, and they add a lot to the story because they're pretty epic when you do reach them. And now my complaints with the actual gameplay. First is, my major complaint with this game, I have to say, is the inventory management. And I feel like this is probably a personal preference kind of thing. It's probably just not to my style. Other people would probably love this. Because each character has their own items, you're constantly kind of changing back and forth, and when you do actually equip armor on characters, you don't just go into the item menu and equip certain characters. If you want to, say, equip one of your characters with a dragon armor or whatever for their chest, and another character has that item, you've got to transfer that item from that character to the character you want to equip the armor, and then you have to go into the equipment menu and equip it. And honestly, it's kind of a bit too much busy work in my opinion. And where this really gets annoying is the fact that I've going through the game, I was constantly buying new armor and sharpening weapons for different party members, but I was finding the game taking away party members way too often from me, and giving me party members that I didn't use previous and I didn't want to use. They're constantly adding party members to your party and removing them just when you're getting into the groove of things, and this persists throughout the entire game. And honestly, it was really frustrating. Because, you know, these characters that I'd equipped and I'd gone through a couple dungeons with, all of a sudden I can't use them because I have to use this other character I hadn't leveled up. And when you recruit new soldiers, they come with basic equipment, but they don't come with their weapons fully sharpened. They start at lower levels, at least most of them do. So it's kind of a pain in the ass kind of getting them up to speed, just to get to a point where they'll be taken away from you and you can use your other characters again, or you'll have another character that has to join your party. It just, honestly, I kind of found it annoying, and I'm hoping later in the series they kind of fix the problems I had in regards to that. So, you know, that's one of my main complaints. The dungeon designs themselves are all good. Luckily, that wasn't a problem. In terms of encounters, it's all random encounters for the most part, which normally I'm not too into. In this game, it's perfectly fine. The encounter rate is absolutely perfect in this game, thank God. Now, with inventory management, it does get a bit easier. You do eventually get a vault in your castle, so you can easily take items away from characters. But I don't know, a lot of this game was spent roaming the castle and, you know, kind of buying armor, sharpening weapons. A lot of inventory management in this game, I'll tell you. In fact, out of my like 21-hour playtime, most of that was just, you know, roaming the castle. Yeah, the world map's not too big, but there's a lot of different characters to recruit, and that's where a lot of the fun came in for me. Figuring out how to unlock all these different characters was really fun. I'm sure I missed a bunch. I did miss a bunch. There's a lot of them that were a bit obtuse. One, for instance, there's a blacksmith, and he tells you, oh, I want to see this one character, and I had him in my army. I put him in my party and walked up to the blacksmith, and nothing happened, even though that worked for a lot of the other recruitable characters. So I don't know what was with that. That was kind of, I don't know, a bit irritating. But it's very fun going around trying to recruit these characters. Some of the other systems of the game, there's appraising. You can get these kind of like urns and pots and things like that, and you can appraise them, and of course they'll be worth tons of money. You can do that. You can upgrade the weapons, like I've said previous. Buy armor. In terms of side quests, there really isn't any. Collecting all the characters are the game's side quests, and there's certainly a lot of content there. You know, the game took me it only took me 21 hours to beat, but really, if you want to perfect the game, I'm sure it will go way over that. And I've heard other games in the series are quite a bit more lengthy. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. You know, just a really solid JRPG. Definitely worth a try if you have it, or if you don't have it even, on the PSN network. Now is the time now I have to get Suikoden 2. And that game is ridiculously pricey. I don't know if I want to put down the 120 to 150 bucks that game goes for. I've heard it's fantastic, but I don't know. I'll wait a bit. Although actually maybe I shouldn't, because games, I tell you, these games are just getting more and more pricey. They just don't want to go down. So the longer I wait, the more expensive it's going to be. I should probably grab that soon. But I can't wait to get further into the series. And really, you know, my complaint with the inventory management, that's a complaint that's just more of a personal preference. Overall, the game is a really great game. I just found that a bit frustrating. Anyways, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.